What is up, guys? All right, so today we're going to be graphing simple rational functions, okay? I'm going to do my best not to mess up. Cross your fingers for me, because it's already going to be confusing, I'm sure, to you guys. It's mainly just following the steps, step by step, okay? Now, I'm skipping the first set of your homework problems because it kind of applies to this in a way, and I'll explain it hopefully. But anyway, I'm going to jump right into this form right here, so go ahead and copy this down. All right, here we go. So the very first form that I'm not showing is just y equals a over x. Okay, this is y equals a over x minus h plus k, and if you notice, we have two asymptotes. Those are going to be lines that the graph cannot, it's going to approach but never ever touch. Okay, it's going to get closer and closer and closer to that line. Okay, and the asymptotes are h, remember h opposite, and I'll go into this more, and then k, keep it the same. So if we have y equals a over x, well, what's h? That's 0. And what's k? That's 0. So that's why I'm not going to do that example. I'm going to start with this, okay? So if you don't see an h and a k, then assume that the horizontal asymptote is 0 and the vertical asymptote is also 0. And let's just go ahead and get going with this. All right, so here is our first example. We have y equals 1 over x minus 3 plus 2. Okie doke. All right. And the horizontal asymptote, this is x equals, well, that's h. So you see that negative 3, so h opposite. So that's going to be x equals 3. And my vertical asymptote is going to be y equals, that's k, keep it the same, right? So just a 2. Okay, so just put a 2 there. So over on our graph, we have x equals 3. So on the x-axis, count 1, 2, 3. And here is my Did I say horizontal? I meant vertical. My bad. See, I'm already messing up. My bad. That's the vertical asymptote. Oh my gosh. All right, and then y equals 2. There's your horizontal asymptote. So y equals 2. That's right here. 1, 2. All right, so right through this guy here. See, that's what I'm talking about. Already screwing up. What are you going to do? All right, so my graph is going to be a hyperbola. Okay, it's going to look something like this, right? You have something like that and something like that, okay? That's basically what it's going to look like, okay? And let's see what happens here. All we have to do now is make a t-chart. This is all you have to do. This is the real work. Okay, x and y, all right? Now I'm going to take 3 points to the left of my vertical asymptote and 3 points to the right of my vertical asymptote. So I'm going to take these three guys here, 0, 1, and 2. So x is 0, 1, and 2, okay? And then I'm going to take 3 points to the right of my vertical asymptote. So that's going to be, let's see, 1, 2, 3. So 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so 4, 5, and 6. All right, so all you have to do now is just plug it in. Plug in the 0, okay? So we have 1 over 0 minus 3. Well, 0 minus 3 is negative 3. So 1 over negative 3 plus 2, all right? So we could do it like this. If you don't trust yourself, just do this. 1 divided by negative 3, that equals, all right, and then plus 2. And we get 1.6. All right, so 1.6. All right, then we're going to plug in 1. So that's 1 over 1 minus 3. Well, 1 minus 3 is negative 2. So 1 divided by negative 2, that equals negative 0.5, and then plus 2. So we get 1.5. All right, and then we're going to plug in 2. So 1 divided by 2 minus 3, that's negative 1. So 1 divided by negative 1 is negative 1 plus 2, that's 1. All right. And let's go ahead and plot these points. 0, 1.6. So 0, comma 1.6, it's right about here. Okay, and then we have 1, comma 1.5. 1, comma 1.5, that's right about here. A little lower. And then we have 2, comma 1, so that's 2, comma 1. And if you notice, it's curving downward, isn't it? All right, so if it's going to look anything like this, with a curve like that, it's actually going to look, it's going to curve like this. Okay, you see that curve there? And then on both ends, it's going to approach those asymptotes. So it's going to get real close to that. And then on this side, it's going to get real close to this asymptote right here, but never touch it. So you're just going to draw a line that goes closer and closer and closer to it. Okay, so there's our first part of our hyperbola. All right, now we'll plug in 4. All right, so 1 over 4 minus 3. Well, 4 minus 3 is 1, so 1 over 1 is 1, plus 2 is 3. Okay, now we'll plug in 5. So 5 minus 3 is 2. So 1 over 2, that's a half, plus 2 is 2.5, or 2.5. Okay, and then we'll plug in 6. So that's 6 minus 3, that's 3. So that's 1 over 3, 1/3. Plus 2, that's 2 1/3, or like 2.3, okay? So 2.3. Now all we have to do is plot those points, okay? So 4, comma 3, so 1, 2, 3, 4, comma 1, 2, 3, here it is. 5, comma 2.5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, comma 1, 2.5 is right here. Okay, and then 6, comma 2.3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, comma 2.3. It's right there. And you can see this curve. Okay, you can see that that guy's curving a little bit. So you're just going to connect those 3 dots and then curve it up like this. Okay. All right, put a little arrow there and then curve this guy like that. Okay, so there is my hyperbola. This is the graph of a simple, quote unquote, simple rational function. I'm sure you're thinking this is simple. All right, let's do part B. Okay, so now we have something that looks like this. Y equals ax plus b divided by cx plus d. Sorry, I don't mean to laugh. All right. Okay, now again we're going to have asymptotes. So, it's not spelled ass. It's spelled asymptotes. ASYMPTOTES. And my asymptotes are going to be, for the vertical asymptote, the x equals, right? That's going to be negative d over c. Okay, and for the horizontal asymptote, y equals, that's going to be a over c. Okay. Okie dokie. All right, so now, here, let me, I'll give you an example really quick. Here's my first example. I guess my only example. I probably don't have time for anything else. The example I'm going to give you is y equals negative 3x plus 2. So y equals negative 3x plus 2 divided by negative x minus 1. All right, so now let's do the asymptotes really quick. Okay, the vertical asymptote, x equals, it's negative d over c. Okay, so here's my d is negative 1, so negative d is going to be positive 1, so that's going to be positive 1 over c is negative 1, right? C is negative 1, so over negative 1, and that equals negative 1, okay? And then my horizontal asymptote, y equals a over c. Well, a is negative 3, so negative 3 over c is negative 1, and that equals 3. Okie doke. All right, so let me go ahead and draw a graph, or an x and y axis real quick. All right. Oops, staples in the way. Give me a second here. There we go. Hopefully everything fits on this graph. All right, I'm hoping. All right, yeah, it looks like it will. All right, so here's my vertical asymptote. X is -1, so count on the x-axis. 1 space in the negative direction. So here's my vertical asymptote. All right, and then my horizontal asymptote is y equals 3. So count up 1, 2, 3 on the y direction. And there it is. There's my horizontal asymptote. Okie dokie. All right, and now all we have to do is plug in 3 values to the left of my vertical asymptote and 3 values to the right of my vertical asymptote. So here's my t-chart. So x and y. All right, and so let's try these 3 values to the left. Here, let's see, it's -1, -2, -3, and -4. So I'm gonna have -4, -3, and -2. Okay, and then we're gonna go 3 values to the right of my vertical asymptote. So I'm gonna say 0, 1, and 2. So 0, 1, and 2. All right, so let's plug these in. Ready? -4. I'm going to plug that into here. So -3 times -4, that's 12 plus 2, that's 14. Okay, divided by, plug in the -4 here. So -4 is 4, minus 1 is 3. Okay, and 14 divided by 3, what is that, 4.6? All right, so 4.6. All right. All right. Again, you could use your calculators if you're a little shaky here. All right, and then you'll know if it's not right because you won't get a curve that looks like these guys. Okay, your lines are going to be curved, so if something doesn't line up, that's an indication that you didn't do it right. And it happens to me too, so don't trip. It could happen right now. I don't know. I've never done these problems. All right, so here we go. I probably just jinxed myself, huh? All right, real quick, here we go. Plug in -3. So -3 times -3 is 9 plus 2 is 11. Divided by -3 is 3 minus 1 is 2. Okay, and that equals 5.5. All right, plug in -2. -3 times -2 is 6 plus 2 is 8. Over -2 is 2 minus 1 is 1, so that equals 8. All right, so we'll plug those in. -4 and 4.6. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4.6 is right here. Okay, -3, 1, 2, 3. And up 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5 is right there. And -2, 8. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, and you can see my curve, right? There's my curve. So just make it go up a little more. And then make it curve this way, and you're good for that guy. All right, now let's plug these guys in, 0. So that's 0 plus 2 is 2, over 0 minus 1 is -1, so that equals -2. Plug in a 1, -3 times 1 is -3 plus 2 is -1, over 1, so -1 minus 1 is -2, so that gives me positive 0.5, right? Okay. And let's see, plug in a 2. So -3 times 2 is -6 plus 2 is -4 over, plugging in 2, -2 minus 1 is -3. So that gives me positive 1.3, is that right? So equals, see, now I messed up something. Let's see, positive, 4 divided by 3, I'm sorry, let's try it. 4 divided by 3. 1.3, yeah, something's, oh no, that's right, it's right, I'm sorry, yeah. All right, here we go. Less than a minute to go, here we go. So, 0, -2, 0, -2, 1.5, 1.5, 2, 1.3, 1, 2, 1.3, and here is my curve. All right, go ahead and draw arrows this way. Draw arrows this way. I am out of time, guys. I love you. Good luck. Email me if you need anything. Ciao.